The president said once you tackle health care reform and you save and you overturn those Obamacare taxes and you get the $1 trillion, then you can start on tax reform. How likely is the work beginning on tax reform? We know that legislation starts in the House Ways and Means Committee. Where are you?
Yeah, you are right. The Constitution says Article 1, Section 7, all tax reform starts in the House. It starts in Ways and Means. We have been working on this for a couple Congresses now. We are prepared for this. And what we first have to do is pass our next budget that allows us to do reconciliation so we can pass tax reform with less than 60 votes in the Senate, a majority in the Senate, and a majority in the House. Kevin Brady has already started working on this. And the most important part here for tax reform, growth could help solve almost all the different issues that we face. The idea that we maintain this 2% or less growth in America will not get us out of our problems. To lift people up, especially when you look at the middle class and others, we've got to get growth going. We've got to be able to compete around the world. Our tax system today punishes you if you're successful, where you can't bring the money back to invest in America. It punishes you that you have to domicile in another country for a tax advantage. That is backwards. And I think when you look at the framework of where we are, this is something that could be probably the greatest growth for the next decade in America.
How will you pay for it away from growth? I understand you're going to pay for it partly with growth, but do you need this to be revenue neutral? Do you need a border adjustment tax? Do you need some kind of an import tax?
Well, I think when you look at it, you want to make it budget neutral. I think it's easier to get through, but that's a discussion we'll have as the legislative process. Border adjustment, I think there are some challenges in the other house, so we'll talk about
that. Won't end up in the final, will it?
It's a very difficult one to get through.
Yeah.
It's not there yet.
Okay.
The one thing I would look at is, if we want to be able to compete with the rest of the world, we have to have a tax code that competes. So we got to lower the corporate rate. Repatriation, we got to bring those trillions of dollars that are overseas back invested into America. And then you got to make it simple and you got to make it fair. Fair to me is the strongest word possible. We've got 7 different individuals' rates. Lower that to 3.